So Dana White did one of his Instagram announcements where he announced a bunch of fights for an up and coming card, which I love when he does these. But he announced some pretty cool fights. So he announced Khamzat Chimaev versus Paulo Costa, which is probably the one I'm most excited for here. That they've been talking shit for about the last year, it seems like. I think, it would have been around the Khamzat Chimaev Nate Diaz fight week before it became Kevin Holland. They had that whole little interaction they had at the Performance Institute. And now it looks like it's finally, touch wood, going to happen. Costa's signed the contract, so he's definitely, at the very least, going to actually fight. And Khamzat's back as well, which is interesting because, Khamzat, he took a lot of time off, so it's good that he's finally back. He's at middleweight, which is good. That division needs some contenders, needs new fighters, so it's good that we got some fresh blood. I am upset that we won't get to see Khamzat Chimaev versus a lot of them welterweight matchups, but the weight cut was just getting way too much for him. He wasn't gonna be able to make welterweight enough. And he probably, at the very least, if he would have made welterweight, he would have won the welterweight strap, and then that would have been it. It's unfortunate because I would have loved to have seen him against like the Kamaru Usman matchup, the Colby Covingtons, but the Leon Edwards fight, the Bilal Muhammad fight even, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm excited to see this fight with Paulo Costa because Khamzat is going from being one of the biggest welterweights to now fighting quite literally the biggest fucking middleweight. Well, I mean, he's no Alex Pereira, but fucking Paulo Costa that walks around, I think 220, something like that, 220 pounds. And, he's a big boy for this division. Like he's muscly. He's gonna weigh in more than Khamzat Chimaev on fight day. But I'm just glad this fight's happening. These two have been talking shit for so long that it's really good that it's finally going to happen. And it's an interesting fight because Paulo Costa's shown pretty good takedown defense, but the style of takedowns is a big, big thing here, though. We've seen Vettori take him down, and I don't think he held him down for too long, but if Vettori can get you down with his style of wrestling, Vettori's, not many people know, but Vettori's actually primarily a kickboxer. He started off as a kickboxer. Khamzat Chimaev has that welterweight skill set, which welterweight, grappling heavy division. He's got good wrestling. I think he competed in freestyle wrestling in Sweden, I believe, which... yeah, he won gold, and he wrestled at 202 pounds, so which is about 92, 91 kilos, something like that. So he's against some pretty big guys, and he won them. So I think he's going to be able to get down Paulo Costa eventually. Okay, yeah, Marvin Vettori only got down Paulo Costa once. Okay, so that's interesting. So he may be able to just keep it standing, so then we'll get a striking fight, which would be really interesting. It'd probably look a lot like the Gilbert Burns fight all over again, except with a much bigger opponent. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a really interesting fight. I don't know if I can really break down who's going to win yet. I feel like I'll have to think about it a lot more. Like when it comes to cardio and all that sort of stuff, I think Khamzat's cardio is going to be a lot better at middleweight. And even at middleweight, I think he has more KO power at middleweight. Because look what he did to Gerald Meerschaert. He KO'd him in seconds. He's a lot faster than the guys at that division too. I think he'll have a clear speed advantage against Paulo Costa. So I'd have to lean towards Khamzat. But Paulo's got a really good chance in this fight. Like, this isn't like a gimme fight, I don't reckon. Now, Khamzat could go in there, and he could just make it look easy. Like, that's still a possibility, but I think stylistically, in that first round, he's going to be really dangerous for Khamzat. Like, he's got... his cardio is a lot better than people think it is. He did gas in his last fight, but was at high altitude, and he put on a crazy pace in that fight. So it really wouldn't shock me if we get like a war for a round or two. I still think Hamzat will have the better cardio though, just because he's not cutting as much weight. But he looks like he's bulked up quite a bit, so we might just get like Hamzat could be the bigger man in there by the time they fight. No, I don't really think that, but Hamzat Chimaev looks like he's really taken the move to middleweight seriously. He doesn't want to be undersized because he is looking fucking yoked, which makes things interesting. I think he has a really high ceiling in the division as well, Hamzat Chimaev. I thought he was going to be welterweight champ, and I think he would beat Leon Edwards, but obviously he can't make the weight, or they don't want to take the risk of him making the weight, which I completely understand. There's no point in risking that at this point, but yeah, it should be really interesting. But yeah, I got to go with Hamzat Chimaev here. I think he might be able to KO Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa's chin's not looked the best since the Adesanya fight. I remember him getting rocked by Marvin Vettori, got rocked by Luke Rockhold. I think there would be a chance that Hamzat could KO him, because Hamzat's power at middleweight seems a little different. I think even that Ikram Maliskarov KO that he got, was that like a 180 catch weight or something like that? So all of his big KOs have all been at middleweight or around that middleweight limit. So I think he's going to come in real dangerous here. Plus, he's been out for so long and he's so young that unless he's been injured this whole time, which I doubt, because I've seen lots of videos of him training on Instagram and all this stuff. So I think he's going to be in top shape. I think he's going to look his best probably. He's going to be really improved, especially in the striking. I think he's probably been working on his striking the most here. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I think he will grapple, obviously. I don't think he's going to try and stand and bang with Paulo Costa, but he could mix in the grappling and then, feint so he can get in shots and stuff like that. Use the takedown threat against Paulo Costa here. But yeah, I think he's gonna show a big difference in the skill gap between the welterweights and the middleweights, because welterweights are a lot more skilled than the middleweights by far, I would say. So I don't know how I have him winning it just yet, but I got Hamzat Chimaev taking this fight. But it is a close one. It's not an easy fight by any means for either guy, especially early, because I don't think Costa's going to be taken down immediately into the fight. He's got pretty good get-ups as well. So yeah, that should be an interesting fight. And then also that got announced was Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira 2, which I get there's not really anybody for Islam Makhachev to fight, but I'm not really too interested in this fight, to be honest. I am interested, but I feel like Charles should have got more wins first. I love Charles Oliveira, don't get me wrong. He's an entertaining fighter, cool personality, seems like an all-around good guy, but I feel like he should have got more wins first. I feel like this is really rushing him. I know he beat Beneil Dariush, but I don't know, it feels rushed. I feel like he should have had to have gone on a decent little win streak first, but he's going to fight the exact same as well. In all the interviews he spoke before he fought Dariush, he said he's not going to rewatch the fight with Islam, and he's going to come out, pressure, and get right in his face like he did before. So he's not going to change a thing, which hopefully he doesn't throw that fucking jump kick or flying knee, whatever he went for that got him caught. But he has a really good chance here, I reckon. But Islam took some damage against Volk. And Charles, I don't know, it seems like Charles punches harder than Volk, but Volk, skill-wise, on the feet, is definitely better in my opinion. But I'd have to say that Charles has a good chance of knocking him out. Charles' power is like, I don't know, it seems like he just hits differently. As we've seen that Rafael Fiziev couldn't get Justin Gaethje out of there, but Charles Oliveira fucking like pretty much flash knocks him out, and then chokes him out. And I think Justin Gaethje said he's never felt power like that before. So obviously Charles Oliveira punches really fucking hard. So he could get a knockout here, I think, if he does his whole game plan again. But maybe Islam's chin's not as good now after some of the damage he took against Volk. But I'd still have to lean Islam Makhachev just because it's only been a year and Charles has only beat Dariush, and he got held down against Dariush. He did get back up, but he seemed like he didn't seem like he really had anything before he got back up. His power and striking seems like it's gotten better though. So maybe he just comes out early and just fucking blitzes at Islam, but I think Islam takes this. I think pretty much the exact same way that he beat Charles the first time. Not the fight I would have made, but there's not really many options at the same time for Islam Makhachev. But I don't know, it just seems really odd, like an odd fight. But what can you do? Should still be a good one. But yeah, I'll have to go Islam Makhachev. Maybe it's a war and it's like a back and forth war, which I could see. But we've never seen Charles actually go past the third round, so we don't really know what his cardio would be like in that situation. So maybe this will be the fight where Charles goes past the third round and maybe he shocks us and has like some really good cardio, or maybe Islam just finishes him late after a really good first few rounds for Charles. But yeah, I'll go Islam. How would I have him winning this? I guess you'd have to go by submission again. Maybe knocks him down, subs him again. I don't know. I feel like there's something weird's going to happen with this fight, though. Like, I don't know. It gives me really weird vibes. Like, there's something about this fight that it's not going to go how anybody expects. Maybe Charles is actually going to knock him out. It's just something weird. I feel like the closer we get to the fight, I'll know. Because when it came to Charles versus Dariush, I was picking Dariush the whole time. And then I don't know, something told me that Charles Oliveira was going to win that fight, like by KO. And he did. He fucking did it. So maybe I'll wait until we get to the fight week and everything and see how Charles is. Because I don't know, something was telling me that he was going to win that fight. When he, I don't know, something about him during fight week, he just seemed like he was going in there to fucking kill or be killed pretty much. And he fucking did it. Knocked out Dariush. But yeah, early pick will be Islam, but I guess we'll see during fight week. I might just pick Charles. Fuck it, why not? And then another fight that got announced was Ikram Elaskirov versus Nasruddin Imavov. Now, this is a weird one, just because you would have thought they would have got Nasruddin Imavov on the Paris card in September. But I guess it's also good that Elaskirov got a fight booked after the Paulo Costa fight didn't come to fruition, which also, I wonder what fight they're going to put on the 291 card now that they've taken Elaskirov off the card for sure. But with this fight, this is a real interesting fight. You don't really see many Dagestani versus Dagestani guys. I know Imavov trains out of Paris. He trains out of France in the Fight Factory, I think it is. But yeah, it's still, you never really see two Dagestanis fight. Not very often. There was Omar Gadzhitov, I think his name is, and he fought Abubakar Nurmagomedov. So I think that was the first time in the UFC two Dagestanis fought. But yeah, this fight could be really interesting because I'd have to go. I think I would have to go with Ikram Elaskirov though, because I think Imavov has shown some deficiencies in the grappling, He lost. I think he lost to Phil Hawes just because Phil Hawes could just clinch him against the fence, if I remember that fight correctly. And I feel like we could see Aliskirov pretty much do the same thing there. Like Amarvov has been taken down a few times. I think Strickland took him down, didn't he? Yeah, Strickland took him down. He did take down Chris Curtis, and Curtis had 100% takedown defense, so Amarvov's got some grappling, obviously. Edmund Shabazian took him down. Yeah, Phil Hawes took him down 4 times. Did Jordan Williams take him down? No, Jordan Williams didn't. Alright, so yeah, he's like, his takedown defense seems pretty hit and miss. I would say Ikram Aliskirov would probably be the best grappler he's fought. So he'd have a really good shot there. And we've also seen Amarvov slow down in the third rounds as well. So even if he's like, he's stuffing all the takedowns and everything, we could just see Aliskirov take him down in the third and then just get a finish there, like sub him or something like that, or ground and pound him. Because yeah, his cardio is, it's very hit and miss. But it's still interesting fight. Not the fight I would have expected Ikram to get, but I'm pretty hyped up for that fight. That should be a good fight. It'll be interesting to see who takes that. I really think Ikram Aliskirov will. He's really good. Sambo world champion as well. Good grappling game. And we've seen against Phil Hawes, who obviously not the most durable guy, but we've seen that he's competent on the feet as well. He got a perfect 1-2 on Phil Hawes' chin. So yeah, I'd have to go with Aliskirov. But I don't know, I would have thought Aliskirov would have fought somebody like Jack Hermanson, maybe a Derek Brunson, a Roman Dolidze that was in talks but never came to fruition. But yeah, I don't know, it should be an interesting fight there. But I think the safe pick would be Ikram here. Which I like this fight a lot more than just like rushing him into the top 5, because if he wins this, then you can do like you can do him against like, I don't know, who would you do him against? You'd do him versus maybe Sean Strickland if he loses to Israel Adesanya in Sydney. Or you could do Ikram versus Marvin Vettori. Which, yeah, that would probably make the most sense, because I imagine Vettori's going to be out for a while after that Cannonier loss. You could maybe even do Ikram versus Robert Whittaker. There's plenty of time, because it's in October as well, so there'd be plenty of time for like these guys who have taken a good amount of damage to recover as well. So yeah, I mean, either way, I'd like to see the winner of Amarvov Aliskirov versus either Whittaker or Marvin Vettori. I know Marvin Vettori and Nazardine Amarvov did have some beef a while back when Whittaker pulled out of the 275 fight. So yeah, that could make some sense there. Or yeah, you could, or maybe even Jared Cannonier versus Aliskirov if they want to rush him up the rankings. I feel like that's a bad matchup on paper for Ikram though, because I feel like they want to get Ikram a title shot if Adesanya is still champion. Like they're really trying to get a Dagestani up there. I would have rather have seen Nazardine Amarvov versus Abus Magomedov if like you could change the matchups and everything. I feel like that would have been a fun fight. Obviously, Abus ended up losing to Strickland anyway though. But yeah, I'd have to go Aliskirov there. But it's a good matchup, interesting matchup. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll test like a lot of. It'll test Ikram's striking, and it'll test Nazardine's takedown defense and ground game, and so it'll be an interesting fight. But yeah, it would have to go with Aliskirov there. But he did get Chinhua Chimaev, so maybe Nazardine can take him out of there. I know Hamzat's good, but he's not like a natural striker. They used to build him as a striker when he fought in Brave. Like they used to call him an explosive striker, which, he's explosive on the feet, definitely got power, good leg kicks, but he's not on the level of striking of Nazardine Amarvov, in my opinion. Like Nazardine's a really good striker. But then again, he did lose to Sean Strickland. But Sean Strickland is an anomaly. He just manages to win all these fights somehow. And I'm pretty sure, and Strickland grappled against Amarvov, but Strickland doesn't grapple against Alex Pereira. I guess. See, Amavov's more dangerous on the feet because Strickland wasn't scared against Alex Pereira, but he was scared of the Nazardine Amavov striking. But yeah, interesting fight there. But so I'll take Ikram Aliskerov there, maybe by decision too. I don't know if he will finish Amavov. I don't think has Amavov been finished before. He's been submitted before early in his career, in his first fight actually against Adi Majidine in Paris at welterweight, which is really weird that this guy ever made welterweight because he's massive. He's a 6'3". Yeah, he's 6'3" with a 75-inch reach. That's really like crazy that he even made welterweight at any point. Most of middleweight are former welterweights. So to be fair, like even Dricus, Marvin Vettori, even the big middleweights, even they all seem to have somehow made the welterweight limit at one point or another. But yeah, some good fights in the middleweight division with Costa versus Chimaev, Ikram versus Nazardine Amavov. So I'm very excited to see how those fights. Hopefully they all happen, so we can get the middleweight division moving. It's good that there's like some newcomers coming in because like Adesanya's fought Pereira, who's moving up, so he'll probably be out of the ranking soon. Rob, Cannonier, Vittori, apparently scheduled to fight Strickland, beat Costa, beat Brunson. Roman Dolidze, that'd be an interesting fight. I'd love to see Roman Dolidze versus Adesanya. Hopefully Dolidze can get some wins together. Gastelum, but Gastelum's moving down. So yeah, it's good that a lot of these guys who are moving division and everything, Adesanya's already beat. So there'll be some like fresh names for Adesanya if he keeps on winning. Or maybe we get a Dricus du Plessis title run, which would be interesting. Or fuck, maybe even Sean Strickland wins. You never know. MMA is the most unpredictable sport in the world. If anyone tells you something's not possible, it'll fucking happen in MMA. I remember Juliana Pena beating Amanda Nunes, just being in shock. So yeah, don't let anyone tell you nothing in this sport's possible. But I feel like I've ranted enough here. But yeah, I'm excited for these fights. It should be a really good card. I read actually on a post that apparently Magomed Ankalaev is going to be on this card against Alexander Rakic or in a rematch against Nikita Krylov. So that'll be interesting. So I guess that means that Jiri's going to end up fighting the winner of Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira, or he's going to be fighting Johnny Walker. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's happening in the light heavyweight division, but yeah, this card should be really good. The Abu Dhabi cards are always pretty good. Muhammad Makaev's on this card as well against Tim Elliott, so that should be a good fight. Yeah, it'd be an interesting test because Tim Elliott beat Tagir Ulabedov. Is that how you pronounce his name? Well, you know who I'm talking about, Tagir. There was some controversy, but still. So he's shown that he can beat the Dagestani style, and Tagir's like straight out of Dagestan. Ulanbekov. Okay, yeah, that's his name. So it'll be interesting to see how he does against Muhammad Makaev's British style of Dagestani wrestling. But yeah, there should be some really interesting fights added to this soon. Like these 3 fights are interesting, and the Elliott Makaev fight's also interesting. But yeah, this card, it's going to be really good, I reckon. So I can't wait for this card. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a good rest of your day. Enjoy.